because June is Pearl Month, so we're going to focus on pearls. Yes, as I said earlier, but no one heard me, we are going to be giving away the copper version that I made earlier and or the one I make on the air. I've decided whichever one looks cooler is the one I'm giving away. And so somebody is going to be a lucky winner of a pendant today. So if you'll just let me know, a lot of you already have, who you are and where you're from. We are going to be doing a drawing at the end of the show. You really do need to be here to win because you're going to have to email your name and information to jewelschoollive@jtv.com. So I'll say that again a little bit later. Anyway, whoo! If you guys have any questions, please, please, please ask me here on the page here. I'm actually watching the live chat because I just watching. Stacy's watching, and Nancy says, "There you are." Exactly. All right, so this is a really easy project. It's simple, it's fun, it's sweet. Anybody would love to receive this. Mom, your sister, your friend, you would love to keep it. It's just a really pretty little piece. I'm going to be doing it with pearls today, of course, because it's June, but you guys can drop any cute little gemstone on the inside of the heart. It's really pretty. All right. So to do this, we're going to need some tools and supplies. Many of you guys have probably already picked up what you need to do this, but the base of the piece is going to be made with an 18 gauge, and I'm going to be using a bare copper wire. If you want to do it like I'm doing today with a bare copper or a brass wire, then you're going to need a bare copper or a brass, but if you want to do it with a little alternate finish, if you only have plated wire, I'm going to show you guys how to do that too. Now, I've also got jump rings here. I have some 6mm round pearls. I have some head pins and a chain. That's going to basically comprise the entire piece of jewelry. And then I have a few tools. I've got a round nose and a flat nose plier. I also have a flesh cutter. As you guys know, this is my favorite. It is called plier number 61, made in Italy. I love it. And I have a large bale shaping plier to make the heart shape. Now, finally, I have a few other things over here. I'm going to be using a file and a hammer to make a paddle at the end of mine, and also a bench block. So if you guys see those, don't freak out, because there is an alternate ending. You don't have to have those tools. And if you can't see, please make sure you always have your glasses handy, like I do. All right, you guys ready to get started? Anybody have any questions before we get started? Let's see. Sheila from Nebraska is watching, and Elise says, happy to be here. And Ruby says, beautiful. Dainty necklace has a lot of classiness. I agree. Okay, so I'm just going to cut some of this copper wire. It's 18 gauge wire. It's bare copper, so we can file it, I can hammer it, I can do whatever I want to it. I can oxidize it, I can leave it shiny. It's just kind of a neat wire to work with. Also very cost effective. Okay, great starter wire. I'm going to cut myself about 8 inches of that wire using my flesh cutter. Now, and that's about how much you're probably going to need, so go ahead and cut that much. Now, step number 1 is to take the 18 gauge wire, and we're going to form the heart. So, the heartbeat, the center of the necklace, is coming up right now. Grab this with your flat nose plier, and I'm just looking over at my screen to make sure it's right in the center, and you just want to go right to the center of this copper wire, and we're going to bend that in half. So just take this and just kind of start creating. See how I've got that little V shape right there? Just start creating your bend in this wire. It doesn't matter if you're exactly perfect. You just want to squeeze right in the center. Now, if you guys see my ring that I'm wearing right now, we're probably going to be doing this on a YouTube video here pretty soon. It's a similar concept, so once you learn how to do this, you're going to be able to take this a lot of different directions. All right, so just make sure you kind of squeeze that nice and tight right in the center. So if you look at my piece, and I'll just kind of put it down in the picture so you guys can take a look at that. See how it's just kind of 2 wires next to each other, and there's a little bend right in the center. So next step is we're going to take, and this works with pretty much any bale shaping plier. I happen to like this one because it has round end, and it also has a like an oval shape end. So depending on like whether you want a more elongated heart or you would rather have a more rounded heart, you can choose the end. I'm going to go for a more rounded heart, so I'm going to use the round end on here. So we're just going to grab the bent end, so the end that you kind of made that little fold in, we're going to grab that with this plier, and I'm going to make a roll in this and then make it look a little bit like a candy cane. Give it one more little twist there. So see how that kind of looks like a little candy cane right there? Pretty easy so far. Okay, so then from there, we are actually going to kind of bring our, kind of my fingernail up to the center of this piece and then pull this outward into a heart. It's like a magic trick. I know. I almost should do it again because that was just so exciting. Just really like that part of this particular project. Okay, so I'm then going to pull this. We are having some audio problems apparently still. However, what I will tell you is this is a very visual learning experience. So if you guys can't hear me, I know you can watch me. So what I've got here is my heart shape. I've got a crisscross down at the bottom. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a paddle out of one side of this. Now, if you don't want to make a paddle, you can always make a loop, and I'll show you guys how to do that a little bit later, but I am just going to go ahead and make a paddle on this side because this is how I did my original. So I'm going to clip this short right here with my flush cutter, and you do want to use a good flush cutter to do that because the more flush that cut is, the less likely you're going to have to be doing any filing. So then I'm just going to push that other one out of the way, pop this here on the end, grab my hammer, make it right in the center for you guys so you can see, and I'm going to make a paddle, just like so. And I'm just going to take this file and make sure that that paddle is nice and smooth so that anybody wearing this will not be uncomfortable. One of the most important things about making jewelry is not about how complicated or how simple it is. It's about whether people can wear it and they will enjoy it while they're wearing it. So I always try to make sure that I take care of little things like that. Okay, so then I'm just going to pull this out so that my heart is even. Now, do you have to make an even heart? Nope. You can make a super crazy heart if you want to. You can make it have even sides, uneven sides, whatever you want. But this particular technique kind of makes a pretty even heart. So what you're going to do now is you're going to actually wrap this wire around where your paddle is. So to do that, I'm going to take my flat nose plier again. I'm going to give it a bend. And I'm going to bend it around the paddle. Use my fingers just a little bit. And it's copper wire, which is very soft, so you're going to want to give it a good squeeze so it's pretty tight around the end there. So see what I've done so far? It's already pretty. You could literally stop right there, and Julie just sneezed. This is a live studio. This is so funny. This is a live studio, and we are real people. Oh my gosh! All right, so I think she's trying to actually. She's allergic to hearts. Okay, so here we go. We're going to bring that around again. On this side, I'm going to keep kind of squeezing with my flat nose plier to get that nice and tight, and you want to bring it around 2 total times, just like that. That's all you need. I don't like the way it looks with 3. You can do 3 if you want to. It's totally up to you. I'm going with 2. But this is, when you make your own, it's going to be your project, so you do it how you want to. You do you on this. One of the things when I teach you guys how to make stuff, I never want you to feel like you can only make it the way I just made it. I always want you to feel, free to kind of change things up, make them different. If you're like, wow, Susan, I would never do it that way. You know what? That's okay. You don't have to do it my way. But that's kind of the way this is now. And I'm just going to take my flush cutter, and this is an important cut right here, and cut this off with my flush cutter. It's very important that you get it good and flush because this is actually going to be on the finished piece. So just clip that off right there. And then take your flat nose plier and squeeze that down. Just going to give it a push and a squeeze, like so. All right. And then my final step here is just to kind of give this a little bit of a twist, so that paddle kind of comes out at the bottom of the piece. And it kind of helps if you just use your flat nose to just like that. So see, it's not perfect. It's kind of got an imperfect look to it. But honestly, it helps it hang a little bit better when it's like that. So there's your little heart. Oh, it's so cute, isn't it? I just think it's cute. I don't know, I've always loved hearts. And the neat thing about this is right now it's going to be a pendant, but you could literally make 2 of them, make them into earrings if you wanted to. I've got the ring on my finger. You can do this as a ring if you want. It can be a lot of different things. It could even be like the center of a necklace, or you can make them really tiny and do them in charms and smaller gauge metals. So there's your little heart. And, oh good, the buffering has stopped. That's awesome. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to hang a little pearl in the center of our piece. So I'm going to grab a copper head pin, and I'm going to grab a pearl. And some of you guys already know how to do this, and you're not going to have any questions about this. But for those of you guys who are watching for the first time, who have never made jewelry before, this is a very simple technique that you do kind of need to know to make jewelry. It's how you make earrings, it's how you make dangles, and it's just kind of how a lot of jewelry is made. So I'm just going to pull a pearl down onto that head pin, and I'm going to make what's called a wrapped loop. So you grab the head pin right above the pearl like that, and you bend the wire back into a 90-degree angle. Let me show you what that looks like. All right, and then you're going to take that round nose plier and you're going to grab the wire just a little bit past the bend. I usually say about 1/8 of an inch past the bend, and you're going to roll that wire into a half circle. And I'll take my plier out again so you can see it. So see how that circle that half circle kind of centers over the top of the pearl? And then I'm just going to put my plier back inside that circle, and I'm going to go all the way around the plier, making a full circle, like so. Super easy. Now there's a tool called a one-step looper that will help you make a simple circle, but because I'm using a really kind of fine gauge wire right now to get through my pearls, I need to make a wrapped loop. So I'm going to grasp that loop that I just made, and I'm going to take this extra wire and I'm going to wrap it around underneath the loop I made. Now, that's a very neat wrap that I just made. If you are doing this at home and it's your very first time and you're like, I could never make a wrap that neat, don't. Do what I call messy wrapping or bird's nest wrapping. Just wrap a bunch of times, and it always looks good. Wire wrapping is beautiful. So look, I'm just going to kind of wrap a few times around here. Wire wrapping looks beautiful almost no matter what you do with it. So don't feel bad about making a messy wrap or a wacky wrap, because a lot of people like the artisan look of that. All right, so then I'm just going to press down that last little piece of wire, and I've got my pearl, I've got my heart, I've got all my tools in my way here. I've got my little scraps of wire. Put those away. And now all I have to do is kind of connect this together with a jump ring and a chain. I told you guys this was going to be easy and simple. Lee said, or actually it's Myra said, this could be made into a forward-facing, meant-to-be-seen clasp. Absolutely, it'd be a beautiful, beautiful clasp. So here's my chain. This is just a little rose gold chain. A lot of people don't know that rose gold, the way they make rose gold is they actually add copper to the mix, and that's how come rose gold and copper look so good together. So if you have some rose gold chains at home, or if you picked up a rose gold chain today from us, it's going to look fantastic. Now I'm using bare copper, so if you guys do use this bare copper and you want to keep it shiny, I always recommend going to just a home improvement store and picking up some acrylic sealer, and that will kind of keep it shiny for you. It's really easy to spray. I always take them outside, put it on some newspaper, spray one side, wait 10 minutes, flip it over, spray the other side, and it's good to go. All right, so I've got my jump ring here. I'm just going to twist that open. You always want to twist open your jump rings. And then I'm going to drop the heart on, and then I will drop the pearl on, and then I will add it to the chain. Now I am going to do this one more time just because I want you guys to see my alternate ending. So don't feel like if you missed it, I'm not going to do it again. All right, so then I'm just going to twist that closed, and ta-da! Look at that. Ready to wear. Isn't that cute? I think it's so cute. All right, so this is 18 gauge copper wire. The head pin, I actually handmade the head pin out of 26 gauge. You can use any head pin you have. A 24 gauge head pin will fit right through a pearl, no problem. And the jump ring, I also made my own jump ring today out of the copper wire so it would match. And then it's an 18-inch chain to go with it. So super easy, super fun project. So let me show you one more time just so you guys don't feel like, you know, don't you know when you see something one time, you're like, oh, that looked really easy. And then you try again and you're like, I can't remember how she did blank. That's what this part's for. All right, so I'm going to cut 8 inches of wire again. And I'm going to bend it in half. So we're just doing the same thing. I'm just going to show you guys an alternate way to finish this up. So bend it in half, just like we did before. And squeeze it in the center. Take your round bell shaping plier and roll it into your candy cane like so. And then slip your fingernail or a tool up the center and pull this open, like so. Even out your sides. And you've got that part. Now, this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this around here just like I did last time. Let me get my little plier in where I want it. Okay, so wrap it around 2 times just like I did last time and finish it off. And I'm going to pull that guy down almost straight. Clip off the extra wire like so. And now what I'm going to do to finish this off, it's a little bit different, is I'm just going to bring this guy short, about 3/8 of an inch, bend it into a 90-degree angle, and then use my round nose plier to roll this into a loop. Oops, let's make him a little bit prettier. Just like so. So see, that's an alternate way to end that. Let me get this fixed up a little bit so it's not crooked. There we go. So there's an alternate way to end it. And you can see that every heart I've made today has been slightly crooked. And that's just how I seem to be rolling at this moment. But you know what? It's all about you and how you do this. I have a tendency to make everything a little bit crooked when I'm doing it live. But if you take a little bit of time with it and just kind of finagle it, you can make sure that they're perfectly straight if that's your jam. If you want them to be crooked, go for it. If you want to do something kind of fun with these, I personally love to hammer them. So you can actually put them on your bench block. This will harden them up and change up the look, give it a more artisan feel. And you can actually kind of put some texturizing on it if you want. So see how I'm using just my ball peen hammer and adding a little texture to this. Adding this texture like this makes it super shiny and fun. And then you can do the same thing down here on the bottom, just like that. So just another alternate way to finish off your heart. And he's got, for some reason, he's just got just a little bit, there we go. Just kind of get him down there just perfect. There we go. So that's an alternate, and I'll just show you, like if you did the alternate ending, like I have here on these, you can actually dangle pieces from the bottom and make earrings out of them. See, you could put a tassel on the bottom, you could put different beads on the bottom, you could put that pearl on the bottom to match the necklace, whatever you want to. It just lots of different ways to make this happen. So, Julie says I'm going to try making it and then maybe a candy cane. Thanks, Helen. So much fun. Roberta and Jen likes it. Let's see. Myra says she made a spray booth so that she can actually spray her bare copper and keep it shiny. A lot of you guys I've found really like to keep your copper wire shiny. I personally like to either oxidize mine or let it age naturally, but everybody's different. So if you prefer the oxidized look, you can go oxidize. If you prefer the shiny look, you can go ahead and spray them with the acrylic and keep them that way, but it's just kind of personal preference. So it's kind of fun. If you guys have any questions for me, if you'll just put them here in the chat. I don't know if Julie, if you've seen any questions that I need to answer before I go away. And then I believe we are going to be doing a drawing to give away the necklace today.
Yes, we are.
Awesome.
I think you've answered all the questions, so we should be good.
Okay, so nobody had any questions, so I feel like I must be a really good teacher today.
You are.
Oh my gosh, you know, I mean. All right, so I'm going to go through this little, oh, we got the drum roll. William's doing the drum roll for me. Jenny from Georgia.
Yeah, Jenny.
I like Jenny from Georgia. What a great name. Congratulations to Jenny from Georgia. You just won, and I'm going to send her this one because it's so perfect. I made that in the quiet of my room, all by myself. Nobody was looking. So we're going to send that out to you. Jenny, please, if you just go email jewelschoollive@jtv.com, your name, your address, and we will send that out to you. So you get a little prize for watching. Congratulations. Barbara says she likes how it's crooked. That's good. That's good, Barbara, because I feel like I live most of my life slightly crooked. I don't know about anybody else, but But yeah, usually anything I do live ends up just a little bit to the one side or the other. And you know what? If you're watching things on camera, if something's slightly crooked, you guys, this is a really, fun, interesting tidbit of information. If it's crooked and you try to fix it, generally speaking, you go the wrong direction because the camera is the opposite of what you're looking at. So if it's already a little crooked, the potential to make it more crooked is much bigger. All right, this has been lots of fun. I love hanging out with you guys. This is our YouTube live. We do a lot of these lives. We love hanging out with you guys, love teaching you how to make jewelry. Please don't miss any of them. If you would, please like, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notified about all our YouTube live videos. Cool thing about YouTube, you can watch it on your TV. So if you get the app on your smart TV, you can actually watch us on TV. And it's been kind of an interesting show today. Now you guys know that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in this room with me, and I had nothing to do with making anything work. It was all them. All I did was stand here. So anyway, I had a lot of fun. I hope to see you guys again real soon. Don't forget, my name's Susan Thomas. You can follow me on Facebook, JTV Susan. I do have a brand new Instagram page because my Instagram got hacked and somebody else has it now. So since I don't want to pay to get it back, I started a new one. Please follow me there. It's also JTV Susan. And you can watch me on the Jewel School show on Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Eastern time, and Monday and Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. So have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys again real soon.